Welcome back, special programs people. This is training module number 5. If you are watching this program, you are either going to be driving a special needs or special programs bus, or you will be an attendant on a special programs bus. And we need to talk to you about several things. Compared to last year, school year 2016-2017, we have some special programs changes for the beginning of the 2017-2018 school year. We have expanded our program to include a couple of things, and some of the things that are included on that are understanding and knowing who is eligible to ride these buses. Our special programs at one point was just for students with special needs right here, and they usually could be encompassed of physical or cognitive or emotional special needs. These students might see in what we would call needing special seat securement, such as wheelchairs or safety vests or star seats. But we have expanded the program not just to include students with special needs. You will see regular education students on our special programs buses now. And that's beginning the 2017-2018 school year. The Mansfield Independent School District has tried to incorporate more choices for parents to utilize for their students' academic goals. Some of those goals might be to enable students who want to start attaining college credit while they're in high school. And so they've incorporated a high school and college dual credit program. And one campus particularly that utilizes this program is Timberview High School. And so if you are a student at Legacy High School and you want to take advantage of this program, you will need to be transported to the high school campus of Timberview, because that is where that program is offered. And so our special programs will assist in transporting students from their home campus to another campus that offers these special programs. Another set of programs you're going to see is science and mathematics intensive programs. This will mainly be for the middle school students. And so if there's 3 or 4 campuses that are middle school campuses that offer these programs, parents in all the Mansfield Independent School District might want their student to participate in this program. So they will utilize our special programs buses to get their students transported from their home campus to a campus that offers these science and mathematics courses. Other fast track programs are going to become available as we move forward, and trying to give our parents in the school district and students in the school district more options and choices to become more prepared for their academic choices and academic goals. And so the buses that will be utilized to take care of these students that are really regular education students will be our special programs buses. Prior to 2017 and 18, our special programs, or SPED buses that we would normally call them, were mainly just to transport physical and cognitive and emotional students with these kind of special needs. And so you're going to start seeing regular education students on these school buses is really what I want you to understand. Please understand also, and I want to emphasize that each of these students, while they may not need a special seat securement, and we're going to talk about these seat securements in a moment, these students will be required to wear a seat belt. And the reason is the law states that if there is a bus that has a seat belt for every passenger on any school bus, that seat belt is required to be utilized regardless if that is a special needs student or a regular education student. And so whenever you get these students on a bus as an attendant or a school bus driver for a special programs bus, you need to make sure that every student, regardless of the program that they're in, will be required to wear a seat belt. And so that's the first type of seat securement that we want to talk about, is the seat belt. Those are pretty straightforward. Everybody is familiar with seat belts. There shouldn't be any special training required for that. Usually there's at least 3 seat belts per seat or bench seat on a school bus. If at all possible, we try not to put 3 students to a bus or to a seat, but that every now and then you might have to utilize all 3 seat belts, and again, you're going to be required to make sure that those seat belts are being utilized while the bus is in transport. But there are other types of seat securements that we want to get into, and hopefully you'll get some, not hopefully, you will be getting training in these particular items of seat securements. We'll talk about all these different items here for wheelchairs, these safety vests, these Star Seats, even this bottle cap seat belt cover, medicine bottle cap cover. These are all neat little devices to help keep our students secure and safe for transporting from school to home and from home to school. We're going to first talk about these Star Seats, which is these things over here. And hopefully you're going to see my arrow right here, and I'll be highlighting a few things as we're talking through that. But the Star Seat is basically just a glorified car seat. If you've ever put a student, like a toddler or a child, in a car seat at home, this isn't going to be much different than what you're used to seeing in the back seat of a car. You will see as many as 3 seats to a bench seat on a school bus. But most of the time, our school buses in Mansfield School District don't necessarily utilize more than 1 or 2 of these per seat. As you see, they are already installed on this particular bus, and I do want to let you know that once you get these installed on the school bus that you will be on every day, and the school bus that the students will be riding on every day, we usually keep these installed. However, you will need to be required to know how to remove these and to reinstall these, because occasionally you might need to get a substitute bus when your regular bus is broken down or needing maintenance, and so you'll need to be familiar with how to take these off and put these back on the school bus. Other thing I want to point out here is I want you to notice that these Star Seats are not in front of emergency exits. If you see these windows right here, these are not emergency exits. Any kind of seat securement that you put in a seat on a bench, they can never be put in front of emergency exits. You always want to make sure they're in a window that's just a regular window, sliding window, because if these seats, we have an emergency, and if there's a student or pupils in these seats right here, and if it's an emergency exit, that could hinder a appropriate and safe evacuation. So we want to be careful with those type of things. We want to have you watch a video and see how you actually can install and secure a student in a safety seat, a Star Seat. And so please enjoy this video as you get some more education about Star Seats.
Hi, I'm Jessica Jeffs with Emmy Safeguard Seats. Every day at Emmy, we work to create new products that bring better solutions to your real transportation safety issues. One such solution is the Safeguard Star. Safeguard is the trusted and proven solution to keeping your students safer on their school bus. That's why more schools and daycares choose Safeguard Star than any other restraint system. Star is the only child passenger seat system made exclusively for school buses. Some school districts currently still use vest restraint systems to transport young children. You've probably heard about the challenges that can come with this product. Vest restraints may be inadequately attached to the seats, children are often improperly secured, vest webbing can get tangled, and when a portion of the vest goes home with the child, rarely does it return. With the Safeguard Star, we all but eliminate these worries and hassles, enabling you to provide safe, affordable, and convenient student transportation. In addition, because of the Star's unique seat base, which slightly raises the child, children should be more comfortable because they're able to bend their knees. You can also count on increased safety since all the belts are properly positioned on the child without any massive buckles resting on their body. In this short video, I'll show you how you can properly use the Safeguard Star to transport preschool, Head Start, and special needs children traveling on your school buses. Let's begin with installation and proper securement. One of the key advantages of the Safeguard Star is that right out of the box, there's no tangled webbing to get in your way. It's ready to install hassle-free. Start out by placing the Star on the seat. Position the 3 straps coming out of the top of the restraint over the top of the bus seat. You'll need to tuck the 2 black straps connected to the Star base back through the seat bite. If you encounter a steel panel at the bottom of the seat bite that prevents the black straps from dropping through, reach under the seat cushion and unlatch it from the seat frame. Then lift up the cushion enough so you can clear the straps between the steel panel and the seat cushion so the straps drop through. Next, take the gray strap and slide it underneath the seat. Connecting the straps is as simple as a color matching game. Black to black and gray to gray. The straps need to be flat and not twisted. Now, tighten the outside straps first. This ensures that we pull the Star base into the seat bite. Make sure you tighten it enough so that the seat back foam crushes slightly. Finally, we tighten the gray strap. Having these 3 straps makes for a more stable and secure system. Tidy up the excess webbing with the clips, and your installation is complete. The Safeguard Star has 2 sets of adjusters. The shoulder height adjusters allow you to adjust the height of the harness to make it properly fit the child. The harness straps in the side of the base allow you to loosen and tighten the harness. First, a helpful reminder. Before you ever touch the red button to buckle or unbuckle a child, remember that full slack should be put in the belt system. This helps keep your hands forward from the child's no-touch area when using the buckle. To put slack in the harness straps, simply push down on the gray adjuster button with one hand, while pulling on the strap coming from the adjuster with the other. Make sure before the child is seated on the Star to pull the crotch strap to the front of the seat so you don't have to fish for it. Many transportation officials appreciate the buckle loop feature that helps them avoid touching the child. Now it's time to buckle up. Once the child is seated, place each shoulder strap flat over the child's shoulder. Keeping the buckle in front of the child, insert the 2 latch plates into the buckle. Next, pull the 2 harness straps equally at the seat base to tighten the harness. Then adjust the 2 shoulder height adjusters to just above the top of the shoulder of the child. Finally, fasten the chest clip and set it at armpit level. To check the belts for the proper tightness, try to pinch the web that is in the front of the child's shoulder. You should not be able to pinch the webbing together. If necessary, further tighten the belts at the lower adjuster. The child is now properly secured. Any excess web at the sides may be tucked away from the child's reach. The Safeguard Star product line features 3 5-point restraint systems. Today we looked at the standard Star, which easily adjusts to fit children from 25 to 65 pounds. It can also be installed 3 to a standard 39-inch bus seat, helping you maintain seating capacity. The Star Plus offers the same protection as the standard Star, but with a larger base, comfort pad, and shoulder area, it can fit children up to 90 pounds. The Star Plus can be attached to a standard 39-inch bus seat. Both the standard Star and the Star Plus can be ordered with an optional chest strap for upper body support. Last but not least is the Star Special Needs, which allows you to transport children with a wide range of special healthcare needs using additional support features. Star Special Needs provides support for children from 25 to 105 pounds. Like the Star Plus, the Star Special Needs can be attached to a standard 39-inch bus seat. All of our products have been extensively crash tested at CAPE, the Center for Advanced Product Evaluation, to meet and often exceed safety standards. CAPE has tested more school bus seats and restraint systems than anyone else in the world. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video today. As you can see, Safeguard Star is the easiest restraint system to install and use. And it's the only child passenger seat made exclusively for school buses. If you have any questions or comments, please don't hesitate to contact us at the number or email on your screen.
And there you have it. There's a pretty good demonstration of what Star Seats are. You're going to get the opportunity to install those, to get your hands-on training on actually helping a student get secured in one of those. Another safety securement item that we want you to be familiar with is the safety harness or the safety vest. When you look at this, it looks a little more restrictive than it actually is. The students that are wearing these are usually students who have difficulty, whether it's a cognitive or emotional obstacle, that they cannot remain seated for a prolonged period of time, or they have some kind of unique impulse that once that school bus door opens, they feel they have the urge to flee the school bus and to try to get out and run out into the street. Those are obviously both dangerous scenarios, and so we want to help those students safely feel secure, to safely keep them secure in their seat, and that's where we utilize the safety harness vest. When you see this vest on this student, you should see the student already wearing this particular item on the bus whenever you pick them up at home or whenever you pick them up at the school. Some staff person at the school should be equipped with the knowledge to know how to put that on, and the mom and dad should already know how to put that on as far as the school bus safety vest is concerned. And so most of the time, all you will be required to do is utilize these 4 snap hooks that you see wrapped around the base or the back part of the seat of the bus, and you'll need to know how to utilize and install this particular safety device on the school bus. Again, most of the time it will already be installed on your school bus, but you will need to know how to utilize putting it on and off the school bus just in case your regular school bus is broken down or you need a sub bus, and you're going to have to take these safety devices and remove them from your regular bus to a substitute bus. I want you to note over here just one thing to keep in mind, that again, this whole strap is not twisted, it is flat up against the seat, and I want you to see that the safety button, it is just like a seatbelt button like on your car, and there's a red button right there, and this red button is facing toward the back of the seat. We don't want this red button facing out where the student sitting behind here would be tempted to push that button and unsecure this strap. So we always want to make sure that that safety button is facing the back of the seat. You're going to get the opportunity to learn how to put this entire assembly on a student to help them get that on. And please know that occasionally mom and dad might be running late, they may have overslept, or the student is just not cooperating very well and they're just running behind. If you've come across that, every now and then be willing to help them out. You do want to bring it to their attention if for some reason that 4, 5, 6 days in a row a student is coming and they just haven't had their safety vests properly on, then you'll need to bring that to dispatch's attention to say, look, we're having some problems here, but this is overall what the safety vest looks like. We have these in sizes from extra small all the way to XXX. There will be high school students that you will come across that will be required to wear these, and most of these students, they're not violent, they're not somebody who's going to push you around or be mean to you or anything. They just don't have the capacity to keep themselves in their seat as regular education students, so we want to help them stay safe while they're riding their school bus. The other thing that we want to talk about now is wheelchairs. We want to talk about several different things when it comes to wheelchairs. We want to understand, and this is a very important thing that we want to make sure is safe and secure. Whenever you are coming into contact with wheelchairs, you're going to have to come into contact with the student. The same thing that we just saw with the Star Seat, and the same thing you would see with a what you call the safety vest. The wheelchair, you're going to come into contact with the student's body. And the way to always feel secure in your job, to make sure that you're not doing any appropriate, is you want to always make sure that the back of the hand is always facing the student, whether it's putting on their seat belt, the Star Seat, or even a safety vest. And then when it comes to the wheelchair, you want to make sure that the back of the hand is always facing the student. So keep that in mind whenever you're coming into contact with students. The other thing is you want to maintain a understanding of what the structural main frame is. You need to have that secured and understood in your mind. When it comes to the structural main frame, that is the only place that you're going to put what we call wheelchair straps or safety straps. And we'll talk a little bit more about that. And you're going to see this in a video coming up about how the back of the hand is facing the student. And in this video, you'll also understand an emphasis on the structural main frame. And that's a concept and a phrase that you need to become familiar with. And then the other thing on this video that I want you to see, that you're going to see, is how the driver interacts with a person in the wheelchair. You need to kind of get eye level with all these students. You don't need to scream or yell unless they really have a hearing problem. A lot of times students are not capable, or in wheelchairs, several students are not capable of responding verbally to you. But you still want to talk to them as though they are a person who can dialogue with you just in a normal conversation. These students are very special. These students happen to have a really sweet heart and really do grow to become very affectionate towards you, as you will be toward them, in obviously the appropriate manner. But these kids really find a special place in your heart. So I want you to start to get familiar with what a wheelchair class or wheelchair securement looks like, and it all begins by watching this video next. So please enjoy this video about securing wheelchairs.
Hi, I'm Joe, and along with Barbara, who you'll meet in a moment, we'll be your instructors for this video. Sure Lock products are designed to make transportation safer for passengers with special needs. We subject our products to rigorous testing to make sure they meet or exceed all compliance regulations. As transportation professionals, you're responsible for the safety and welfare of your passengers. That's why it's extremely important to make sure that you know the correct way to secure them and their wheelchairs and comply with all the regulations that apply to you.
Sure Lock has the parts, service, and training materials you will need. This crash test video shows what happens in a 30-mile-an-hour 20G impact. The forces developed are as if the passenger and the wheelchair weigh 20 times more than their normal weight. Improperly securing the passenger and the wheelchair can be dangerous, even at low speeds.
This video is divided into 7 sections: pre-trip assessment, sensitivity training, components and assembly, securing the wheelchair, securing the occupant, system care and maintenance, hands-on training.
Whether you're driving a school bus or a public transit bus, before the start of each trip, it's important to conduct a visual inspection of the vehicle's interior, including the wheelchair securement components. Make sure each securement station has 4 securement straps, a lap belt, and a shoulder belt. Next, check to make sure that the straps are in good working condition. Any defects, such as cut, frayed, contaminated, or damaged webbing, improperly functioning hardware, worn or broken parts, require the replacement of the entire strap or belt assembly. Floor anchorages, such as tracks and plates, should be free of dirt and debris, as that can interfere with proper system operation. Make sure there's a clean, dry container in the vehicle for proper storage of belts when not in use. Every vehicle should be equipped with a web cutter for use in an emergency. And finally, make sure an instruction sheet is available for quick reference. If you need extra instructions, just ask. They are available from your Sure Lock distributor. This quick inspection only takes a minute.
It's very important to be sensitive and courteous to your passengers with special needs. Make them feel safe, at ease, and comfortable. There are 5 things to remember when securing a passenger in a wheelchair. First, smile. Use a friendly tone and try to engage the passenger in a conversation. If possible, crouch or sit down so you're at their eye level when speaking to them. Explain what you will be doing when securing the occupant and their wheelchair. If the person has upper body mobility, ask if he or she would like to assist with the placement of their lap and shoulder belts. And always use extra sensitivity while securing the shoulder and lap belt by ensuring that the back of your hand faces the occupant when reaching around them.
We will continue on. We do not need to pause these videos.
The components in a Sure Lock system can be divided into 3 basic categories: track fittings, strap attachment hardware, retractors, and strap buckles. There are 3 types of track fittings: Series L track fittings, Series A track fittings, solo cleat, and anchor fitting. To fasten L track fittings, line up the track fitting with the track, push down and slide it to lock it in place. Tug on the belt to make sure the fitting has engaged properly. To release, simply lift the plunger and slide in either direction and lift the fitting out of the track. With A-track fittings, line up the track fitting with the track. Lift the keeper, slide the fitting into the desired slot, and release the keeper. Tug on the belt to make sure the fitting is locked in place. For proper installation and belt alignment, it is very important that the keeper always face away from the chair. To release, simply depress the keeper and slide the fitting out of the track. To attach the solo cleat fitting to the floor anchor, Simply line up the dots on the cleat with the dot on the anchor. Slide the fitting on and rotate the strap assembly toward the wheelchair to lock onto the anchor. To release, line up the dots on both the anchor and cleat and slide off.
There are 4 types of strap attachment hardware: S-hooks, buckle and buckle connectors, snap hook and D-ring, wire hook and ring. To use an S-hook, attach the S-hook to a structural frame member of the wheelchair as close to the corner of the seat cushion as possible. To use a buckle and buckle connector, thread the buckle connector through a structural frame member and insert it into the buckle. To release, simply push the button on the buckle. To use a snap hook and D-ring system, loop the snap hook end of the strap around a structural frame member. Attach the snap hook to the D-ring. The wire hook attaches much the same as the snap hook and D-ring. Loop the ring around a structural frame member. Attach the ring to the wire hook.
In addition to the retractor, there are 3 types of strap buckles: over-center buckle, ratchet buckle, cam buckle. To operate the retractor, press the red release button to release the belt from its housing. Pull on the belt and attach to the wheelchair. To tighten, press the red button to remove the slack. Rotate the tensioning crank if additional tension is needed. To release the retractor, press the red release button to loosen the belt. To operate the over-center buckle, depress the locking mechanism to release the buckle handle. While pulling on the loose end of the strap, fold the buckle lever over to tension. To release, simply pull the loose end of the strap downward to unlock the handle and loosen the strap.
To operate the ratchet buckle, pull the loose end of the strap through the take-up reel until there's a small amount of slack. Then, rotate the ratchet handle up and down to tension the belt. There should be at least 2 turns of the webbing on the take-up reel. To prevent jamming, no more than 4 turns should be placed on the take-up reel. To release, simply depress the locking mechanism and rotate the handle to the fully open position and pull on the tightened webbing. To operate the cam buckle, press the lever and pull the loose end of the webbing until tight. To release, simply push on the lever and pull on the tightened webbing.
Now that you're familiar with the various systems and attachments, let's talk about securing the wheelchair.
Correctly securing a wheelchair is extremely important for the safety and comfort of the passenger, as well as for your own peace of mind. Injury or death may result from improper securement. With the occupant facing the front of the vehicle, center the wheelchair between the floor tracks. Apply the wheel locks, or if motorized, turn off the power. Once you have the wheelchair centered and locked between the tracks, you are ready to attach the rear strap. Install the track fitting end into a slot in the floor track. Use a slot just to the inside of the rear wheel. Pull on the strap to ensure the fitting is firmly engaged and locked into the slot. If you're using an S-hook system, attach the S-hook to a structural frame member of the wheelchair. Then push the button on the retractor to remove the slack. Remember, for the best securement, the strap should form about a 45-degree angle between the floor tracks and where the straps attach to the wheelchair. Installing the front straps is similar. Install the track fitting end of the front strap into the floor track. Use a slot that's at least 3 inches outside the wheel. This prevents the strap from interfering with the footrest and gives better stability. Next, attach the S-hook to a structural member of the wheelchair. Then push the button on the retractor to remove the slack and crank it down for extra tension. Repeat this process for the other front strap.
Okay, Mary, I'm going to make sure that you are in here and secure.
Once you have all 4 straps attached, release the brakes on the wheelchair and check for movement. Once secured, the wheelchair shouldn't move more than 2 inches front to back or side to side. Reapply the brakes. There are instances when extra restraint may be needed. In this event, 2 additional rear straps shall be used. There are also times when a structural member is not easily accessible. The quick strap may help in these instances. This strap attaches to the wheelchair and provides highly visible anchoring points for the strap assemblies.
Doing it right also involves knowing what not to do. Don't attach the straps to the wheels or any detachable portion of the wheelchair. Don't allow the straps to conform or bend around any object such as wheels or footrests. The securement straps must have a clear, straight load path from the floor tracks to where they attach to the wheelchair frame. Keep the straps away from any sharp edges or corners. Never use the cam buckle straps on all 4 points of attachment. It is recommended that they only be used as front tie downs. The cam buckle strap is primarily a slack removing device and can only tension to the extent of the operator's strength and angle of pull. Never use different styles of buckle straps for the same end of the chair. Use 2 identical straps for the front and 2 identical ones for the rear. Do not cross-connect the strap assemblies. This can lead to potentially collapsing or tipping the wheelchair. If proper attachment of a specific type of chair cannot be accomplished, consult with your supervisor or contact your Sure Lock representative. Once the wheelchair is secured, you're ready to secure the occupant. Let the passenger know what you will be doing at every step.
Gary, I've already secured your wheelchair, and I know you're capable of placing your own lap belt. But for the purposes of demonstration and with your permission, I'll attach your lap and shoulder belts. Now you may feel the back of my hand as I'm securing the belts.
Start by attaching the lap belt. Place the ends of the lap belt around the passenger. Thread them down through the opening between the side panel or the seat back and the seat cushion. Remember to position the lap belt around the occupant's pelvic zone near the hip, with the buckle of the lap belt placed opposite to the side where the shoulder belt is attached to the wall. For integrated lap belts, take the snap hook end of the belt and attach it directly to the D-ring on the rear securement strap assembly. Adjust the lap belt through the adjusters by pulling on the free end to make the fit firm yet comfortable. The integrated lap belt can only be used with the heavy-duty FF600 retractor series system or the FE500 series system. Parallel or floor-anchored lap belts, on the other hand, attach directly to the floor track by inserting the track-fitting end into the rear track. Use a slot next to the rear securement strap on each side. This means that the passenger and the wheelchair are secured independently of each other. Parallel lap belts can be used with any of the Sure Lock wheelchair securement systems. The last belt to attach before you're on your way is the shoulder belt. Bring the triangular fitting of the shoulder belt over the passenger's shoulder, past the collarbone, and diagonally across the upper chest. Attach it to the stud of the lap belt latch plate. Pull on the loose end through the adjuster to achieve firm but comfortable tension. Pull on the belt to ensure that everything is properly attached. There are several types of shoulder belts that may be used. Non-retractable shoulder belts easily attach to a section of track mounted on the vehicle side wall, which provides increased positioning flexibility for multiple station vehicles. Insert the track fitting into a slot that gives the correct placement of the shoulder belt on the occupant. A non-retractable shoulder belt is recommended for passengers with limited upper body control. Retractable shoulder belts may be directly mounted on the vehicle floor or side wall. These offer automatic adjustments similar to auto seat belts. Many systems offer a height adjustment feature which provides up to 12 inches of vertical adjustment to provide the proper placement of the shoulder belt. All Sure Lock systems have a single quick release button. Just push the button on the buckle to release the occupant's lap and shoulder belts at the same time. The integrated combination lap and shoulder belt is a very popular occupant restraint system. Here's how it's used with the retractor system. Grasp the buckle connector and pull the webbing out of the retractor. Slide it up the webbing a full arm's length while holding onto the snap hook and with the web stiffener. Take the snap hook and thread it down and through the gap between the wheelchair back and seat. Connect it to the D-ring on the rear retractor closest to the vehicle sidewall. Take the snap hook on the shoulder buckle strap and thread it down and through the gap between the wheelchair back and seat. connected to the D-ring on the rear retractor. Then, snap the buckle connector into the push-button buckle and adjust the webbing using the adjuster to fit low and at the occupant's pelvic zone, near the hip and opposite the side from where the shoulder belt extends. Pull on the belt to ensure that everything is properly attached. To disconnect, press the button on the buckle.
Here are some important things to remember when securing the occupant. The lap belt must be worn low and snug across the occupant's pelvic zone, with the junction of lap and shoulder belts near the wearer's hip. Never position the lap belt over the abdominal area, over the armrests, or with the belt assembly twisted. Never extend the shoulder belt across the neck or face. Sure Lock recommends that every securement station be equipped with a Sure Lock occupant restraint system consisting of lap and shoulder belts. Do not use postural support belts in lieu of an approved FMVSS certified lap belt, designed and tested to be used in conjunction with the securement system. Keeping your Sure Lock restraint system clean and in good working condition is extremely important for both the safety of the occupant as well as the proper functioning of the system. The easiest and most efficient way to achieve this is by incorporating cleaning and preventative maintenance procedures into the existing maintenance schedule for the vehicle. Inspect straps and belts before each use. Any defects, such as frayed, cut, contaminated, or damaged webbing, improperly functioning hardware, broken or worn parts, require the replacement of the entire strap or belt assembly. Sure Lock recommends that these belts be destroyed before they're discarded to avoid being used again. Environmental conditions, such as dirt, oil, mud, sand, solvents, grease, salt water, and excessive sunlight will reduce the service life and proper functioning of the system. Prevent contamination of the webbing from chemicals, especially battery acid. Be sure to store belts in a clean, dry container when not in use.
Strap and belt webbing can be cleaned with mild soap and water. Rinse fully and dry completely. Any mechanical components such as cams or ratchet buckles must be periodically lubricated with a silicone-based lubricant in all moving joints. Inspect all floor and sidewall anchorages, including tracks, plates, and bolts. Check for excessive wear, corrosion, and loose fasteners. Clean out any dirt and debris to ensure full and correct engagement of track fittings. Any system component that is in use during a collision that requires the vehicle to be towed from an accident site must be replaced. This includes anchorages. This concludes the video presentation. Now it's time for you to work with your instructor in the hands-on portion of this training session. Remember, practice makes perfect. So take this time to familiarize yourself with all of the Sure Lock systems. And practice, practice, practice.
If you have any questions, please consult your supervisor or call your Sure Lock representative, because the safety of your passengers is the one thing you don't want to compromise.
Well, there you have it. There's a pretty good video about securement on a wheelchair. We're going to take a little pause here, and you can continue your wheelchair training in the next module. I'll have an introduction for that. We want to really get to the specifics of a school bus and then talk about student management a little bit. So as for now, that will conclude this portion of your first wheelchair training for those of you who will be riding as an attendant, or for those of you who will begin driving on our special programs buses.